Good morning, Edgewater, Volusia County, and the state of Florida. Today is December 31st, 2025, and the official countdown until we hit 2026. First, we're going to start with a check of our weather because Daytona Beach woke up to some cold, nippy weather. Edgewater listeners, it's Wednesday, and in Daytona is waking up under clear skies with a grips winter chill. Temperatures are sitting around 37 degrees, but it feels closer to 19. Thanks to that northwest breeze, a cold weather advisory remains in effect until 9 a.m. today. Today's outlook: expect a sunny, cool afternoon with highs reaching the mid 50s. Winds stay light and humidity drops through the day, giving us a dry, bright finish to 2025. Tonight, skies are clear with lows dipping back into the upper 30s, so make sure you have a jacket if you're planning to go out for New Year's Eve. Looking ahead, New Year's Day warms up nicely, sunshine in the high 65. Still need a light sweater. A gradual warming trend continues into the weekend and highs climbing to the 70s and a chance of showers by Saturday afternoon. Florida's always has had bipolar weather. Mother Nature does not know what it wants to do. One minute it can be nice outside, sunny, and then the next thing you know, it's pouring down rain. Edge traffic update, Daytona Beach. Here's what commuters need to know as they hit the roads this morning. I-4 corridor real-time traffic maps show normal flow through the Daytona Beach stretch of I-4 with no major delays reported at this hour. Live cameras on the mile marker 126, 131 show steady movement and clear visibility. I-95 through Daytona. I-95 is moving smoothly with no active incidents reported in the Daytona region. Expect typical morning volume, but no significant congestion. Local roads. According to local conditions, most city roads are showing green flow, meaning normal speeds and no closures. As always, lighter traffic may simply reflect low early morning volume rather than perfect conditions. Stay alert and for unreported hazards. And the travel tip for today: Florida 511 reports no statewide alerts at this time. So long distance drivers should have a clean run across Central Florida. That's your weather report for today. And coming up after the break, we will jump into today's topic. And we're going to be talking about some things that maybe some people just don't know about. The new year, how it began, where we stand, and what 2026 could bring. And when I say 2026, we're talking about the midterms. We're going to jump into that and much more after this 2-minute break. morning, Edgewater. Welcome back to the Edge Podcast as we jump in our today's topic, which I find very interesting. Many people do not know where or how it began, and that is talking about New Year's. And today we're going to jump into it. Welcome to the Edge Podcast, brought to you by Edgewater Gazette, your community-powered newsroom and Florida nonprofit dedicated to transparency, accessibility, and the belief that informed communities are stronger and more connected. As we gather here on the final day of 2025, we're taking a moment to reflect on the year behind us and look ahead to the possibilities of 2026. Today's episode is a special 1-hour journey through the time, culture, and politics, whether it's weather and sports, all woven together to help us understand not just where we've been, but where we're going. We'll explore the deep history of New Year's celebration across civilizations, examine what the 26 midterms can mean for communities like ours, and we take a look at the winter weather patterns shaping early January and dive into the sports world as it prepares for a brand new year, including Major League Baseball gearing up for the 2026 season. And at the end of the show, we'll offer our final sign-off of 2025 and share an important reminder about our holiday schedule. So settle in, get comfortable, and let's begin this final broadcast of this year together. To understand why we celebrate the new year the way we do, we have to travel back thousands of years to a time when humanity was just beginning to make sense of the world. The earliest known New Year's celebrations date back to ancient Bailan, where the festival marked the arrival of spring. This wasn't a single night of fireworks and countdown. It was an 11-day ceremony filled with riddles, offering, and rehancement of creation of myths. The new year wasn't simply a date on a calendar, because that's how it is today. It was a cosmetic reset, a reformation of order over chaos, in a moment when the goods were believed to renew their blessing over the land. The arrival of spring symbolized rebirth, planting, and the promise of a new architectural cycle, making it the natural moment to declare a new beginning. As time moved forward, other civilizations developed their own ways of marking the turning of the year. In ancient Egypt, the new year was tied to the rising of the star Sirius, which signaled the annual flooding of the Nile, and an event so essential to life that it shaped the rhythm of the entire civilization. The pioneers celebrated a spring festival that continues to this day, emphasizing cleansing, renewal, and the triumph of light over darkness. The Maya, with their knowledge, tracked time through cycles that marked not just the years, but the entire era. Each transition carries a spiritual significance. Across cultures, the new year has always been a moment of reflection, hope, and the belief that the next cycle could bring a better fortune. The version of New Year's we recognize today began to take shape in ancient Rome before Julius Caesar's reforms. The Roman calendar was wildly inconsistent, drifting out of alignment with the seasons and often manipulated for political advantage. In 46 BCE, Caesar introduced the Julian calendar, aligning the year with the solar cycle and declaring January 1st the official start of the new year. This choice honored the Roman god of beginnings and transitions, who was, in my opinion, who was depicted with two faces, one looking backwards and one looking forward. Could you imagine? It's a fitting symbol for the way we still approach New Year's Eve. One eye on the past, one eye on the future, and a heart full of hope for what comes next. During the Middle Age, many Christian nations moved New Year's Day to dates like March 25th or Easter, believing these religious observers were more appropriate markers of renewal. It wasn't until the Georgian calendar reform of 1582 that January 1st was restored as the global standard. Over time, traditions evolved from church bells to fireworks, from family gatherings to public countdowns, until New Year's became the worldwide celebration we know today. And now, as we stand on the threshold of 2026, we continue a tradition that stretches back thousands of years, pausing to reflect, to hope, and to imagine what the next chapter might hold. When we return, we'll take a moment and we will dig into what 2026 could mean for the midterms. As you know, 2026 and 2028 is going to be two big years. We'll be back right after this 10-minute break. Good morning, Edgewater, Florida, and Volusia County. The current time is 7:23. It is December 31st. And one of the things that is coming up this next year is the midterms. And a lot of people are talking about the midterms. A lot of people are saying it's going to be a crowded field. A lot of people are predicting which party's going to take what. But, let's just talk about some facts, shall we? So we're going to look at what 2026 could bring and what the 2026 midterms could mean. As we drift from the ancient history to the present day, we find ourselves looking ahead to a year that will carry significant political weight. The 2026 midterm elections are approaching, and while midterms don't always capture the same national attention as presidential races, they often shape the direction of the country in profound ways. Midterms determine the control of Congress, who leads state government, and who makes decisions at the county level. Now, many people will say, well, we pay more attention to the national level. That's fine. But state government and who makes the decisions on county and city levels matter. Decisions that affect every day, from infrastructure to education to public safety, they are in many ways the heartbeat of American democracy, giving communities the chance to voice their priorities and influence the policies that shape their daily lives. Heading into 2026, the national climate is one of transition and reflection, and many Americans are thinking about the economy, the cost of living, and the challenges of housing affordability. Others are focused on infrastructure, climate resilience, and the need to prepare for increasingly unpredictable weather patterns. Healthcare remains a central concern, especially across the mental health services and support for rural communities. And here in Florida, issues like coastal resilience, insurance costs, and development pressures continue to shape public conversation. The midterms will be a moment when voters weigh these concerns and decide which direction they want their communities to take. Florida, in particular, will be a state to watch. With the diverse population, rapidly growing communities, and unique environmental challenges, Florida often reflects broader national trends while the charting is on path. County level races, school board elections, and local ballot initiatives will play a major role in shaping the next decade of policy. For communities like ours, these decisions will influence everything from energy preparedness to education funding to the future of local journalism. And as a nonprofit newsroom committed to transparency and public trust, Edgewater Gazette will continue to provide accessible, factual information to voters. Make informed decisions, not by telling them what they think to think, but by giving them the tools to think clearly. The 2026 midterms will be the moment of civic reflection, a chance for communities to evaluate where they stand. Where do you stand on the political spectrum and where they want to go? And as they move into the new year, we'll be here to help guide that conversation with clarity, context, and commitment to serving the public. And now let's turn to our weather outlook again. Turning now to the weather, Florida is entering a winter season that feels, I don't know if it's a winter season or if it's bipolar. Entering a winter season that feels necessarily different from recent years. As we close out 2025, meteorologists are observing a pattern of cooler than average nights. Stronger cold fronts dipping farther south and an increase in early January rainfall. These shifts are the result of several increasing factors, including changes in our ocean temperature, fluctuation in the jet stream, and the moisture surge from the Gulf. The result is winter that feels more dynamic, more unpredictable, and in some ways more resistant of the winters Floridian experienced decades ago. Some days it's hot, some days it's cold. For many residents, the cooler temperatures are welcome change, a change to enjoy crisp mornings, cozy evenings, and the rare opportunity to pull out sweaters that usually stay tucked away in the back of the closet. But the cooler weather also brings challenges. Inland areas may see frost on certain nights, which can affect agriculture and landscaping. Coastal regions may experience dense morning fog, creating visibility issues for commuters. And the rapid temperature swings between day and night, because they're bipolar, both people, pets, especially those sensitive to cold air. Make sure you bring your pets in. These weather patterns also a broader implications for the community. Cooler temperatures can influence energy usage. That means if you're running your AC or your heat, Florida light bills are already high. With some households turning the heaters for the first time in years. Get ready for the stinky smell. With some wildlife behavior shifts as animals adapt to the changing conditions. Outdoor events may need to adjust schedules or prepare for unexpected cold snaps. And for those who work outdoors, from the construction crews to the delivery drivers, the weather becomes a daily factor in planning and safety. As always, we continue monitoring these patterns and keeping our community informed as January unfolds. Well, we'll be back with a segment that you might want to watch. We're going to look at some top stories from Edgewater Gazette, read some top stories from others, and we're going to dig into a lady who apparently tried to kill her kid. We'll check that out after this 5-minute break. About a subject that was kind of baffling to me, but after I read it, it was not that surprising. I just snatched my headphone out of my ear. This lady is an elderly lady. I wrote this story yesterday, and it has kind of gotten some backlash, not much, but I kind of want to go through it because I find it a little bit interesting. So, as you know, anytime a story is posted on Edgewater Gazette, that story is allowed to have comments. And several comments came back on this one, but Volusia County deputies are investigating a disturbing incident after discovering an unconscious 4-year-old girl inside a parked vehicle that reportedly contained white pill residue scattered across the interior, according to the sheriff's office. Deputies were called to the home in DeLand area late Monday afternoon after a family member reported being unable to wake the child, who is a great-grandmother of the vehicle's owner. When first responders arrived, they found the girl slumped in the back seat, unresponsive and showing swallowing, shallow breathing. According to the incident report that we obtained, deputies immediately noticed powdery white substance on the console, floorboard, and the child's clothing. That's a red flag. The substance was not yet been identified, but investigators said it appeared consistent with crushed prescription medication. The child's great-grandmother told deputies she had briefly left the girl in the vehicle while unloading groceries. She says she believed the child had fallen asleep, but when she returned several minutes later, the girl was unresponsive. For one, why are you leaving medicine around them? Paramedics administered emergency care at the scene before rushing the child to Advent DeLand Health in DeLand. Hospital staff later confirmed the girl regained consciousness and was stable condition as of Tuesday morning. Now, the sheriff's office said detectives are now working to determine how the residue ended up in the vehicle and whether the child ingested any of it. The great-grandmother told investigators she did not take any medication that would match the appearance of the substance. But that was odd. Deputies also noted that the vehicle had been used earlier in the day by another adult relative. Wow. Who had not been yet located for questioning. Detectives are reviewing surveillance footage, which I'm going to obtain, from nearby homes and businesses to track the vehicle's movement. The Department of Family and Children's Services have been notified and is conducting a parallel investigation. Now, here's the sad part about this. The neighbors described the family as quiet and devoted, expressing shock at the incident. Several said the grandmother is known for caring in multiple generations of children. One local resident that did not want to be identified said it's heartbreaking. Said one neighbor, she loves the little girl more than anything. I can't imagine what she's going through. Now, in a brief statement, the Volusia County Sheriff's Office emphasized that the investigation is still in its early stages and that no charges have been filed. We are grateful that the child is recovering, the statement read. Our priority is determining exactly what happened and ensuring her safety moving forward. Authorities said laboratory testing on the residue is underway, and the results should be in soon. Oh, Lord. That's not good. However, the grandmother was arrested because the child was found unconscious in the vehicle with white pill residue. So, if you have children and you had medicine, don't leave the medicine in the car. Take it out. Just a few updates. What's coming up next month as we prepare to close out this morning's newscast. You don't want to miss January 17th. We're going to have Mayor Diesel Depew right here from Edgewater. You'll be able to ask questions. Make sure you get your questions between January 1st and January 7th. That January 7th will be your last day to ask questions. Them questions will be asked at the end of the segment with Mayor Diesel Depew. These interviews are unfiltered, so make sure you check it out. He'll be here January 17th at 7 p.m. Also on the 24th, we'll have Heather Bondi, who is an advocate and a family court advocate. She will be here at 7. And then in February, we will have the founder of Dream Green Volusia talking about environmental issues and what is at stake. And then on February 21st, we'll have Commissioner Dory from Deltona talking about the issues in Deltona, Florida, as the mayor continues to be corrupt. And then on March 7th, we will have Dora Ann, and that is going to be a soul-wrenching interview because she is very interesting and has a lot of interesting things that I think everyone would like. Due to high demand, we did reopen the website. Please don't expect no one to answer any questions that's coming out of that. If you would like to have a chance to appear on the Edge podcast, you can do so by sending us an email. And you can do that by looking at the bottom of your screen and send it to edgewatergazetteinc@gmail.com. All stories are reviewed and approved, and we will go from there. On to our last segment of the hour and talking about so many things that I feel like 2025 has brought and how 2025 has just oozed out with all kind of unexpected events. And I tell you the story about the family in Edgewater that lost everything in the fire. I am so grateful that our community stepped up and helped this family. It was just a blessing to see the outpouring support for this family. As we move into the final stretch of our program, let's turn our attention to the world of sports. And sports are always fun. A world that always seems to carry its own rhythm, its own energy, and its own sense of renewal. As the calendar turns, January is a month filled with excitement across the sports landscape. College football reaches its dramatic bowl season. Everybody's looking forward to the Super Bowl. So make sure you check all that out. If you have not read our stories, you can visit our website. You can also check us out on Facebook. We're also on YouTube and Rumble. So please make sure you check us out. I hope everyone has a blessed year. I hope you have a blessed New Year's Eve. Please stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Call yourself a Lyft. I will see you on the other side of 2025. On the other side of the green, which will be 2026. I love you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your readership. And we will see you soon. Happy New Year's. Please tune in tonight at 9 p.m. as we count down the hours with the New York New Year's Rockin' Eve. God bless.